Hey guys. Um so today um I want to talk about healing. Specifically, healing without closure. Healing without getting any closure. When I was going through my Instagram the other day, I came across a post where somebody um posted that their therapist asked them to imagine being bit by a snake, and a poisonous snake, by the way. And instead of concentrating on healing or recovering or asking for help, they are chasing after that snake to try and understand why it bit them, and trying to explain that they didn't deserve to be bit by that snake, you know. And I was like, it hit home. It really hit home. I can relate. I can relate, you know. There are things or hurt that I carried with me for so long that it hindered me from healing. Actually, the fact that I didn't get closure hindered me from healing. So sometimes, guys, actually, most of the time, you're not going to get the closure from the other person, from the person who hurt you. And it does not make it right. No, I'm not saying that what they did is right. And I'm not downplaying the hurt that you're feeling. You deserve to feel like that. You deserve to go through the emotions. But you need to make sure that just because you didn't get closure, just because you didn't get the apology that you're looking for, you don't delay your healing process. I mean, if I were to speak about my experience, I remember at some point in my life as a teenager, I had some sort of resentment towards my parents. I had resentment towards my mother, because of how she left us unattended, and uncared for as children, sometimes even without food, and she would go to church, like I mentioned on my previous video. I had resentment towards my father because he left us for so many years and we were struggling, and I didn't even get the chance to I don't know, explain to them or make them understand. But I had to get to a point where I had to decide that I wanted to heal. I need to move on from this. And by doing that, it didn't mean that I'm saying what they did was right. I wasn't downplaying the hurt that I was feeling, but I just couldn't live with it anymore. The resentment, the anger, it was just too much. That the only option that I had, or the only option that I chose, was to move on. Because the thing is, we carry so much anger, and most of the time you'd be chasing to have that final conversation with the person that hurt you, so that you can make them understand what they put you through. And there's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes, even if you get that final conversation with them, sometimes they won't even acknowledge what they did to you. Sometimes they won't even be aware of the hurt that they caused. And then what? What's that going to do to you? It's only going to make you feel worse. Or you're probably going to feel like, or end up thinking like, am I crazy? Are you crazy for feeling that way? Because the other person has no idea what you've been going through all this time or all these years. And even if they did, don't let them hinder your healing process. It could be anything, guys. Maybe a toxic relationship, maybe a toxic upbringing, a toxic sibling, it can be anything, it can be whoever. parents, siblings, co-workers, can be anyone. So I just wanted to say that closure actually begins with you. It begins with you accepting what happened and moving on. And again, I'm not saying that, oh, just get over it, move on. That's not what I'm saying. Deal with it, accept it, and work towards healing, moving on, regardless of whether you got an apology or you got the closure that you are looking for. And I mean, just think about it. What if the person that hurt you is no longer has passed on? Then what? Where are you going to get the closure from? Where are you going to get the apology from? Are you saying that if the person is no longer with us, it's fine, you just move on? But if they're still alive, you will seek that closure? What if you never get it? Are you saying that you're going to live with that anger and hurt for as long as they live? Or for as long as you live? I don't think that's what you want. And especially for those of us guys who have children, please work towards healing, especially if it's childhood traumas. Let's deal with them, because if you don't, you're going to pass them on to the next generation. Regardless of how aware you are of them, if you haven't dealt with them, you're going to pass on to them one way or the other. So that's all I wanted to say, guys. Let's heal. We are hurt. There's a lot of people moving around. We are hurt, and we end up hurting each other because we don't want to deal with the hurt that we're feeling. Some are hurt from past relationships, and I understand, because sometimes you wish you can understand why this person hurt you so much. For example, in a romantic relationship, maybe you were so good to this person, you did everything right, you tried by all means to be the best partner, you sacrificed a lot, but then the person chose to hurt you, and it doesn't make sense to you, and you're trying to understand why. What could have given them the reason to do this? And like I said, sometimes, or most of the time, you're probably not going to get the apology. So it's up to you. It's up to you to decide that you're not going to carry the anger with you, regardless of whether you got the closure that you're looking for or not. Closure begins with you. It begins with you. Once you've healed, you can start showing up as your best, as yourself, because you've healed. It's so nice healing from things, guys. It's so nice, because even if the person comes back to apologize, it's okay. You've let go of the trauma. You've let go of the emotions. So that's all that I wanted to say to you guys. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and see you next time. Bye.